So continuing with the comparison between the job costing and the process costing, we see that it's the same objective. It's just that process costing more combines all the three aspects into one and then comes up with an equivalent unit pricing. So process costing is more of a mass production type of aspect, and it's a continuous process where you're always producing, and you have a homogeneous product, you have a similar process, and you have a unit cost, which is your entire cost divided by the amount of equivalent units that you have. And we'll do an example. Now, equivalent units, I want to go over in more detail, but equivalent units is if something is half done, then you just look at it as a 50% unit. So if you have 10,000 material pieces that are 50% complete, you just call it 5,000 units. So that way you can compare other units to this unit, and so everything is homogeneous. So an equivalent unit is like that. Is you have one piece that's half done and another piece that's half done. You have one total piece that is complete. So you can have apples to apples. Let's see. So the example is 10,000 units, 70% complete are equivalent to 7,000 complete units. You just multiply out the proportion and you're there. So we're gonna go over now the 5-step process of how to calculate the cost in a process cost example. So as an example, we're gonna have to go through it a couple of times, and we're gonna look at it together a couple of times, and then I'm gonna go through it as well with you in person so that we nail down this example. So this is going to be this is going to be the situation. We are working on production of units, and we're going to have these units in production, and we're looking at the first thing first. We're going to look at the physical flow of the units. So we're starting off, as you see here, we're starting off June 1st, 10,000 units. And then that's already in work in process before production begins. So we have a WIP on June 1st of 10,000. Now we're adding in direct materials of 10,000. This is the cost of $10,000, but the direct materials in the WIP are 100% complete. Labor is only 30% complete, and factory overhead is 40% complete. And this is the cost associated with it. So we have 10,000 units here, and then we have a cost of $12,680. Now we have 40,000 units that we're starting in June. That's brand new. Now during June we completed 44,000 units. That's shipped and complete out. Work in process in inventory June 30th, we have 6,000 units. So we have some blanks here, some questions, costs that were added during June. So the first thing that we look at, just to get our bearings put together, is the physical flow of the units themselves. So we know we started with 10,000 units. That was before June 1st. That was the ending. And that was a work in process. Some of them finished, some of them not. Now we started 40,000 new units in this month of June. Okay? So we have 50,000 units all in all in process. Now we have 44,000 units that were completed. That means these are shipped out. I'm looking at it maybe like Coke bottles that were done and they're finished. And they're now shipped out. And then ending inventory is 6,000 units. Now this is still pieces that are in process, maybe not complete entirely. So we're going to continue looking at this piece.